Hi, I'm Joy. Welcome to Topless Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a really lovely, gentle sequence. So it's mainly on our knees, so we're just going to be kneeling and going through a lovely flow.
Oh, radiant sun, pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil so I can see, illuminate my heart, awaken me.
Let's come onto our knees to begin. So find a way of sitting. If you find your knees, it's like sitting here for too long, if you find it difficult, you can also put a block in between, like this. So you can be sitting like this just while we start. But most of the practice will be a moving practice, so that's fine. And remember, you can use cushions if you don't have blocks. Okay, so let's close our eyes for a moment. We'll just have a little short check-in with each other and check in with yourself, your body, your breath. Maybe take the hands to the heart center to begin. Just acknowledge how you're feeling today. Finding where you're at and being kind to yourself. This is a gentle, kind practice. Then gently opening your eyes. Let's place the hands on the knees. And we'll begin by loosening up our neck. So having a little look over the side. Either side is fine. Inhaling forward and exhaling over to the other side. Inhale as we come forward and then exhaling over. Inhale just as gently as you need to go today. Remember that your body will be different every day. So you can, if we listen to our body, then we'll know exactly what it needs. And then over to the side. So we're taking this ear over to the shoulder, but we're keeping the shoulders down. So gently over 3 times again. So stretching out this muscle here. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale. Exhale. One side might be feeling different from the other. I know mine does. Exhale. So this one is, we've got to be like really careful with this part of our neck. So these muscles, this muscle that runs down here is really kind of, got to be careful not to overstretch it or be too kind of harsh on it. Okay, then looking down, we're going to take our neck rotations. So looking down at the knees and then 3 times one way, over like a rainbow. So you're really not crunching the back of the neck. Inhale, over and exhale. So it's one full breath as you go round. And after 3 times, going the other direction. So as slowly as you need to go. If you're just going to do 2 each side because you're going super slow, that's fine. Oh, so nice. And when you've finished your 3, looking down at your knees and lifting up the head. Fantastic. Great. So lifting the shoulders and gently releasing down. Enjoy this breath. So remember that our movement always follows the breath. So we're always, in yoga, we're always breathing with intention and moving with intention. So we're just allowing the breath to guide us. Lifting up and then rotations. So rotating forward. saying hello to your shoulders. Oh, so nice. And then the other way, going backwards. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. Let's just loosen up the arms, to the side, above, and then loosen. Fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to come into our kneeling sequence. So going to the back of your mat, sitting on your knees, and if you're not keen on sitting on your knees, like I was saying before, we're going to be moving quite a lot, so don't worry about it if you're not going to have to sit just like we were so much, so you won't really need your block so much. Although if you do want to use your block or cushion, just leave it here and it will be waiting for you whenever you come back to it. Okay, so bring the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra to begin. So this practice is really with the breath. I'm going to guide you with the breath. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, back down into child. Inhale, upward facing cat. Exhale, turning the toes round, downward facing dog. You might need to adjust your hands. Inhale, upward facing cat. Exhale, back into child. Now we're inhaling through, so bending your elbows and inhaling any way you can through onto your tummy and up into cobra. So this might be a little cobra here. You might find that you're coming up a little bit more. Exhale. Bend the knees, up onto the knees, back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, upward cat. Exhale, back into child. Inhale, stretching up, extended Vjarasana. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Great, wonderful. Okay, inhale up. Exhale, child. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child. Inhale, through to cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, child. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands back to heart and back on to your heels. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing in some other postures as we go through. So we're just going to bring in gently a little bit more. Okay, so hands at the heart centre. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, down into child. And now we're down into child. We're going to gently move the hands over to the left. So you're coming into a side stretch. So you'll be stretching the right of your body. Taking a few breaths here in the deep side stretch. And then gently bringing your hands back to centre. And then over to the right side, so that you're stretching out your left torso, left side of the torso. And then gently bringing the hands back to centre after a few breaths. Have a few lovely deep breaths there. Back to centre. Inhale, upward cat. And here in upward cat, arching the spine up, so lifting towards the ceiling. Inhale as you come down and then looking up. Exhale as you look between the knees. You're coming to a flowing cat. So it's like our cat flexions and extensions, but we're flowing. So our body is kind of going in a circle. So the bottom is going back down towards the knees. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So remember, you can bring your tummy in every time you arch your back up towards the ceiling, pelvic floor. You can really engage those muscles, especially when you're in the arching upward cat, like this. Or no, sorry, not upward cat. It's actually downward cat, but the back is arching towards the ceiling. Upward facing cat, turning the toes round, hovering here. So it's downward, it's kind of coming back to downward dog, but not yet. So we're hovering, holding in your tummy muscles. If this is too much for you, please, you can skip this bit. So just look after your lower back, really strong on the legs, having a little hover, holding in your abdomen, lovely and strong, protecting your lower back, lovely loose neck. Coming into half downward dog. So that's where you've got bent knees, but now your chest is going back towards your knees. Couple of breaths in half downward dog. Adho Mukha Shvanasana. It's a bit of a mouthful, that one, I find. And then lifting up into acute dog. So this is really on tiptoes, like an acute angle. Stretching out your legs. And then exhaling your feet down towards the mat. So walking out your dog. So one heel at a time is coming down. If you're finding it's too much, you can always come down and have a little play around with your wrists. You don't, or you can come back into cat and then back up to dog. So you don't have to stay as long as I stay. Remember, this is your practice. You're really just feeling into what feels good for you right now, what's right for you. And then let's just have a couple of breaths in the full expression of downward dog. So if you're someone who can't put your heels down towards the mat, that's not a problem. So you don't have to force it. You also can use, if you find that we're ever in a static dog, you can also use a block or a book or anything to go here underneath your heels like this. And then we're going to bring ourselves down. So we're coming down into upward facing cat. And then sinking back down into child for a moment. And so for this child, let's have our knees wide open and we'll stretch out. And we'll just have a little, I've actually even got my chin. You'll notice I've got my chin on the mat. So if that's something that's okay for you, if your neck's all right, you can do that as well. And I've got my hands really spread out. My fingers are spread out. My hands are probably a little bit more than shoulder width apart. I'm stretching the inside of my thighs. So all from my groin, those muscles there, really stretching. And then gently coming up, we're going to close the knees and bring ourselves, it's easier from this position, we're going to bring ourselves into our cobra position, but we're going to start with Sphinx. So that means your forearms are on the mat. Your your elbows and hands are shoulder width, so they're in line with your shoulders here. And we're relaxing here, so relaxing the shoulders. And just be gentle, we're being gentle on the lower back. And yet actually with Sphinx, the lovely thing is you can even rock out your lower back like this, so you can just gently rock from side to side. Just resting here, relaxing here in Sphinx posture. And then placing the hands down at your shoulders, turning the toes round, and we're coming through past the knees and back up into downward dog. And now we're old hands at downward dog now, because we've already been there before, so we've had a good stretch there. So we can just take a moment, a breath in downward dog, lower the knees down and say hello to upward cat again. And then bring ourselves down into child. And rest for a moment in child, take a breath. And if you ever find you're in child and you need to rest on your hands, it's the quickest way is to just do little fists like this, but you can obviously use blocks or anything like that. And then bring yourselves back up to kneeling, bringing the hands to the heart, lifting up, stretching up. And then the hands back down to the heart. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. This is great. Such a lovely sequence. Okay, so hands at the heart again, where we're starting, and we're going to go through it again. So we're going to add some different things in. Okay, so inhale up. Exhale, folding forward into child. This time we'll go through child and then up into upward cat. And then bringing the hands back to neutral. The body back to neutral, spine back to neutral. And we're just going to have a little play around here in cat, so looking over at the side. Exhale over. Inhale, forward. Exhale over to the other side. So it's like you're checking out to see if you've got a tail. Over to the side. You're going, oh, what's behind me there? Back to centre, and then over the other way. Exhaling, making sure you're doing lovely deep breaths as you turn to the side. One more time. Over to this side, and then bringing the head back to neutral. And we'll start to gently move the bottom from side to side. So you're moving your hips from side to side, swaying your hips. Then you can start to bring the shoulders into it a little bit. So it's a bit like a dance, swaying from side to side. Lovely. Okay, and then we'll start to move our belly down towards the mat and then lift it up towards the ceiling. So we're going round and round. So it's a bit like, it's a good analogy for this. So it's a bit like your tummy is a drum carder. I don't know if you know one of those, or a washing machine. So you're turning it round and round. And then the other direction. So really enjoying this play around with your hips. So I get a lot of, quite a bit of pain in my right hip. So it's actually sometimes it can be a bit uncomfortable doing this kind of thing. But in the long run, it really helps. It actually helps my body to stay flexible and keep movement in my body. So in the long run, it just helps me so much. Okay. And then bringing the hips back to stillness. All right, so we're in upward cat, and then we're going back into downward facing dog. Getting a bit lost there. So back into downward facing dog, and then we're going to lift up lift up our legs. So we're in three-legged dog. So this is one that's great for strengthening your left leg, because your right leg is lifted up. And you're encouraging your chest back towards your knees. So lifting up the right leg. And so it's just a lovely, strong dog. So your foot is facing the ground. So you're not actually opening up the knee like that, or open up the hip, with the knee, but you're just keeping it facing down, and then bringing your foot back down again, and then lifting up the left one. And the toes are facing down towards the mat. Lovely deep breaths. Encouraging your upper back, your chest back towards your knees, so that you're not kind of like coming forward like this. You're encouraging and back. So you're still trying to keep that V shape in your body. So you're lifting up your pelvic floor and tummy muscles, and then bringing your leg down. Upward cat, coming back into child, and then bringing ourselves through so that we're coming into cobra. So we're in small little cobra now, with your legs are hip width apart, and then your toes are pointing behind you. Your elbows are in at your chest, and your hands are at your shoulders. So we're gently inhale up. You might not come up this far, but if you can, that's great. Your shoulders away from the ears. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more time, as long as it's okay on your lower back. So really making sure you're okay. Inhale up, exhale down. And if you feel like you need to, you can come for a moment into Sphinx again, and we'll just go from side to side. It's just a nice little way of, it's the way of loosening up the lower back if we've been doing some little exercises there. Okay, so bringing the hands down back to near the shoulders, elbows in. Inhale, and then exhaling back into downward dog. Inhale, upward cat. And then we're going to bring the knees out to the side, the toes are touching, and we're going to come down for a moment into, this one gets called Anahatasana, and sometimes melting heart in yin yoga. So you imagine the heart melting. Anahata is your heart chakra, so that's why it's called Anahatasana. So it's your heart chakra melting towards the mat. You might have your chin on the mat like me. If not, you've just got your head on, and your heart might not be, your chest might not be touching the mat. Taking a few breaths here, just really relax into this posture. It can be quite uncomfortable if it's not something you're not used to, but just see how you go with it. And then we'll lift up this hand. So the right hand lifting up, and we're going to thread it through. So we've come from Anahatasana, and now we're coming into thread the needle. So bringing your right hand through, and you're now on your right shoulder. Turn your left hand round so that the fingers are facing towards your face. So that's a lovely just a little adjustment. Rather than having them here, you turn them towards your face and create a right angle with your left arm. It gives this lovely adjustment. And then we can lift up. If either stay there, or if you feel like you want to, you can lift up your hand. And just keep your head lovely and still facing forward. Fantastic. And then taking the hand behind if you feel like it. So there's 3 options. There's hand on the mat, hand facing the ceiling, and then you can take your hand behind if you feel like it. And you can, if you can either pop it on your bottom or you can grab your thigh. Just gently tuck it in, like you tuck it into your thigh. Oh, it's nice. You're really doing a lovely twist around here. And then placing your hand down. Bring yourself back up. Remember, if you've got sore knees or it's hurting you in any way, you can just bring it. You can use a blanket across here. I probably haven't said that this time, but you can use a blanket across here just to protect your knees a little bit. Okay, so lifting up your left hand. We've still got our knees out at the side if that's still comfortable for you, mat width. And then bringing, you won't be able to see my face obviously, but bringing your hand underneath and lying on your shoulder. You can probably see better that I'm lying on my shoulder. And then placing the hand down, the arm is at a right angle, and the fingers are towards the face. Take a lovely breath, so either stay here or bring up your hand towards the ceiling. You can lift up your pelvic floor and your tummy muscles, that's always nice. Keep yourself nice and strong. And then if you want to, you can bring your hand behind and you can see here that I'm tucking in my thigh. But it might be that it's just here. That's cool as well. So just whatever's good for you. Remember your deep breaths. So remember you're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, and the hand back up at the ceiling if you've gone all the way. The hand back on the mat. Bringing yourself back up. Fantastic. And then bringing your knees in. So if that was strong on your knees, just acknowledge that, and we can gently release them in a moment. Okay, so it's back into child. Bring ourselves back. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhaling, lifting up. And then exhaling down. Fantastic, great. That was really lovely. Okay, so just before we come down onto the mat, I'm going to place our knees up and the hands behind, and we'll just rock out from side to side for a moment. You've done a lot on your knees. Fantastic little sequence. You can always use a sequence like that if you're just not feeling like you want to get up and do like a full Surya Namaskar sun salutation or something like that. You can use that instead. And it's a lovely little, it's just a good base for a practice. You can add in all sorts of things. Okay, bringing the knees back to stillness, and then come gently onto your back, bringing the knees into the chest. Rocking from side to side. You can still use your deep breath, but you can start to kind of allow the breath to be a little gentler, and then holding the hands on the knees, you can start to circle out the knees, so the knees come together and then they move away from each other. They come together and then they move away. And bringing the knees in, and then gently place the feet down at the mat, and then bringing your feet together and your knees can come out. So see how that is. So this is Supta Baddha Konasana, Supta being reclining, and Balasana being the bound ankle posture. So you put your feet, the soles together and your knees out, and then resting. So you can either rest here, which is absolutely lush, or a little trick is blocks or bolsters or cushions or pillows or whatever. You can actually, if you just want something a little bit more gentle, restorative, you can place something there to support your knees. And just rest, really allow some deep rest. So either stay here, or you can release your legs down, but you can stay in Supta Baddha if you want to. And we're just going to come for a short relaxation in Shavasana. So opening up your feet and your hands, and really enjoying this stillness after physical practice. Allowing the breath to fall back to your natural breath. Feeling heavy on the mat. Lovely and soft, so your muscles are so soft. Allowing all your thoughts, all your emotions, or any sensations you're feeling, just to be exactly as they are, just to come and go. And the main thing is to recognize this complete feeling of being held and accepted. So you are completely accepted. You are completely held. And please, I ask you, if you need to, just to stay here as long as you like, as long as you can, and as long as you want to. But if you are ready, you can lift your knees up. Maybe rock the knees from side to side, rocking out your lower back. And then gently making your way onto your side. And finding yourself back up to seated. So either cross-legged or back into kneeling. And you can keep your eyes closed if you wish. Bring the hands to the heart. Namaste. And gently opening your eyes. Yes. Thank you for your time, and thank you for this practice together. Wonderful yoga community. You could just, if you wish to, thank yourself for taking this time. Okay. Namaste. Thank you so much, and please, keep watching and sharing and liking my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me make these videos, and I want to make lots more. I make them every week and post on a Sunday morning.